I used to have a neighbor I was friendly with. She was a very, very nice young lady. She was like 18, 19 years old. And she worked two jobs, went to school, and she was very active socially. And one day, this other guy popped up at our building. She wasn't home. Didn't think anything of it like the first couple of times I saw the guy. But then he started popping up like a jack in a box. And he would be sitting in the stairwell, waiting for her, asking people in the building about her. It just started to get cringe. And I had mentioned it to her that there was somebody that keeps popping up when she wasn't there, asking about her, sitting in the stairwell. She said, yeah, she said that she had met somebody. I guess it was through some friends. They weren't dating or anything like that. It was just somebody that she had met in a social situation, had a conversation with, and she didn't understand why he was showing up at the house because she never gave any indication that she wanted to have anything to do with it. One week she went out of town with her friends. This guy pops up, right? She's out of town. And it was the same thing again. Have you seen so and so? They home? You know when they coming back and this and that, right? And I was like, So when she got back from out of town, he popped up again. This was after she got back. I think she had only been home a few hours. He pops up, and I heard the if I heard the situation through the door because he was yelling and screaming at her, demanding to know where she was and how dare she not be home and this and that. And he went off, and she was like, "Hold up, wait a minute, right here." She said, "First of all, I don't owe you any kind of explanation because you're not paying for nothing over here." And she said, "Second of all, you're not even my man. You're not even a friend. So who the heck are you?" And when she said that to him, he froze because I guess dude was having a relationship or whatever in his brain or however. I don't know what the heck was going on, but he froze there for a minute. And then all of a sudden his demeanor changed. "Well, it was just I came by and you weren't here and I was concerned." And she told him, she said, "Look," she said the folks in the building have been telling me that you've been, coming over here when I'm not home. And she said, "You're not my man. We're not friends. We're not friends. We're not anything." She said, "Stop coming here. Just stop it." "Well, see, I just want to." She says, "I don't care what you want." She says, "I work two jobs. I go to school and I'm trying to figure out who I am. I don't want to be involved with anybody right now. Leave." And he left. He never came back. So we had a conversation after this incident happened. And I let her know. I said, "Well, I couldn't help but hear what was going on." I said, "Because he started screaming and hollering at you." And I said, "Look," I said, "I just want you to know that I'm very proud of the way that you handled yourself." I said, "You didn't call him out his name. You didn't, cut him down or do anything like that." I said, "But you were firm and you were clear. There was no misunderstanding going on here." And I said, obviously, dude, confused the whole thing and thought maybe there was something going on when there wasn't. And she said, "Yeah, I didn't understand why he was acting like that." She said, I didn't know I was supposed to tell him I was going out of town. I asked his permission for stuff." And so we started laughing, but he never showed up again. It's, sometimes that's what you got to do. I mean, you don't have to call them names or cut them down or whatever if there's somebody that you're not interested in, but be clear, be firm. And more times than not, you won't see them again.